Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. For everybody who is new here, massive welcome to you. And to everybody who is a returning viewer, I really appreciate your support. I appreciate the fact that you're encouraging me, and massive love back to you. So I decided to wear this beautiful dress today, and I'll tell you a story about this dress. So this dress is okay, so as a backstory, my grandma passed earlier this year. She passed in April and she was buried in May. So this was one of the clothes we used for her burial. This was we used this Ankara for her service of songs. Fortunately, I couldn't get you to wear it because of a very, very sad story. It's not sad, it's just like kind of like a weird story, but I'll tell you the story. So yeah, so let's get into it, I guess. Yeah, I don't think there's any other thing I want to talk about. So grandma passed in April. She was 98. She lived a very good life. She was very healthy till the end, very strong, very, like, everybody loved her. I guess nobody can, there's nobody everybody likes 100%, but most people that came across her like loved her. She was very generous woman. She was like, she was industrious. She was very homely. She was everything. Anyways, so she passed in April and her burial was in May. So we all, like, most of us decided to go home to pay our last respects, right, and bury grandma. And before I left, I'm like, I like to think of myself as being organized. Like, I tried to cross every I, every T. I tried to cross every T and dot every I before I left. I got, like, I was just constantly on Instagram. Like, and by the way, God bless Instagram. You can actually plan. You can plan your entire life on Instagram. There's nothing you're looking for you cannot get on Instagram. And it's so amazing. So I was constantly on Instagram talking to people. I figured out souvenirs. I was talking to my tailor. I was talking to, like, practically everything, like, that I needed to organize. I organized on Instagram. And I'm like, I haven't ever spoiled myself before. Like, I don't really get to go for parties and all that. I'm like, let me use this opportunity now and get my makeup done professionally, so I can at least have one or two decent pictures. So I talked to a few makeup artists in Kaduna. I don't know if I mentioned that the burial was in Kaduna. And for people who don't know, Kaduna is one of the cities in northern Nigeria. I happened to grow up there. It was a very lovely place when I was growing up. I really don't understand what's going on there, but that's the story for another day. So the burial was there. So I talked to a few makeup artists in Kaduna before I left, and I found somebody who I think I liked her work, and her price was kind of like decent enough for me, like that I could afford. And we had set, like, she was like, oh, she was okay with my date, she was okay with my time, I should just show up at her studio. That's how the day of the service of songs, sister went to the makeup artist studio and makeup artist was not there. I'm like, what's going on here? They're like, are you sure you booked? I'm like, I went back to my Instagram messages and I read it again and I checked the date. I'm like, is this not this date? They looked at it. That's her apprentice. Looked at it and they're like, it's today. Yeah, let's call her. So they started calling her. They called her. At first they were like, oh, she said she's on her way. I waited for about, I don't know, I waited for a few minutes, and when she had not shown up, I'm like, where is she? And they're like, oh, they said, I don't know, for people who know Kaduna very well, her shop is around stadium roundabout, and they're like, oh, she's in Central Market. And I'm like, if she was in Central Market, she would have appeared by now. Like, where the hell is she? And they're like, oh, just wait. I'm like, at the point, I'm like, oh, let me start going, because I really need to, like, I don't have all day to wait. And you know how Nigerians are annoying. Sorry, you know how annoying some people can be sometimes. Like, I don't know if anybody has ever had this experience, how you can give a tailor your fabric and be like, I literally have an event on this day. Is it okay with you? And they're like, no, now it's okay, we can sew it. And they keep posting you like, you check up on them 3 weeks before, 2 weeks before, the week before, 5 days before, 3 days before, 1 day before, and they're like, oh, everything is on point, we're almost done, only for them to like ghost you totally. Like they don't even know where they dropped your fabric. And I'm like, this is wickedness. Like, and there's no other way to classify this act. It's wickedness. Because I feel like if I would rather be told, oh, I'm too busy, or your style is too complicated, or my life is too messed up right now, I can't sew your stuff. Come and collect your fabric and give it to somebody else. Anyhow, this is how these people posted me. Oh, she's coming, she's on her way, she's almost here, she's just outside, blah blah blah. And then it starts raining. So at this point, it's raining very heavily. I'm stranded in this woman's store. I have no phone. I have no means of transportation, because I was in Nigeria for I think 9 or 10 days, and I honestly could not be bothered with the hassle of that hula baloo about getting a SIM in Nigeria. You need your NIN number. They need they almost need everything plus your blood type. I'm like, I can't deal. So I got one of all these small Wi-Fi devices, and I'm like, once I have internet, I'm okay. I have WhatsApp. But that thing only works like 40% of the time I was in Nigeria. And that day was one of the days they decided it wouldn't work. So I was caught up, like I was just stranded in every way. It was like, honestly, I was just miserable. I couldn't reach anybody. Nobody could reach me. I couldn't get out. It was raining and everything. So some people, one of these makeup artist apprentice and somebody else came and was like, they were like, oh, we can actually talk to somebody just across, like very close, that can do the makeup for you. But you probably need, because it's raining, it's pouring, probably need to book a boat ride to get there. I'm like, yeah, that's no problem, but I don't have a phone, I don't have internet, I don't have anything. And they're like, oh, okay. So they did it for me, got me a boat ride. I went to this other lady's place, and she started doing the makeup. Like, I don't know if you guys have watched Zootopia. You know that I don't know I don't know the name of the animal. Those really slow guys. This one is just doing her thing. Like her sweet pace. She wasn't even bothered. Like, she was just taking her sweet time, doing like. And then I'm like, can you hurry? She's like, yeah, I'm trying to hurry. And then a very long hour and a half later, she's like, oh, we're done. I'm like, oh, thank you. And then I start wearing my clothes, like I'm hurrying, I'm rushing, thinking, oh, how do I get to the venue, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm really rushing. And then miraculously, my phone starts working at this point. So my mom calls me, like my mom's call comes in. And I'm like, yes, we just finished. I'm just trying to get dressed. I'll soon be there. And guess what mom says? Oh, the program is over. And I'm like, really? She's like, yeah, everybody has left. I'm like, oh God, can you just come and get me? So, and then you know the funniest thing? The lady that did my makeup, she overheard my conversation. And you could see in her face, she's like, her face dropped. And I could just read on her face, she's like, you're going to still pay me, Abby? And I'm like, yeah, I'll pay you. Oh my goodness, it was so funny. Like, she was so, like, you could literally see on her face that she was genuinely concerned for her pay. So I paid her, I went home. I stared in the mirror for like 30 minutes, like admiring my face. And then I washed off my face and I went to bed. So that's the short version of how a Kaduna makeup artist disappointed me and made me miss part of my mama's burial. I don't know, has anybody had any similar experiences of how somebody disappointed them on, like, somebody disappointed them for has anybody had a similar experience on how anybody has disappointed them prior to a very, very important event in their life, making them miss out or feel miserable or something? Like, because I feel like sometimes people just do things so, like, some service providers can be so selfish. They don't think about how people feel, how important events out to people. They just do whatever they want to do, and sadly they're getting away with it. So if you have any interesting stories, let me know in the comment section. So that's the end of my gist for today. And you know, I will not leave until I beg you guys to subscribe to my channel, like my video, subscribe, share, and like, and also follow me on Instagram. I'll put my Instagram handle in the description box, so you can follow me on Instagram. And that being said, I guess that's the end of this video. I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, just keep doing what you're doing, guys. Making you as awesome as you are. I'll see you next time. Bye.